welcome to my channel. As you can tell, I am very chill today, and that's because I think this is gonna be a quick video. The season finale of Insecure was last night, and oh my gosh, it was underwhelming. At least for me it was. I don't know, did y'all feel that way? Like, I really expected so much more. Like, I don't know exactly what I expected, but I expected something. Like, a few minutes into it, I was like, okay, this is kind of going slow. You know, we seen Lawrence with his daddy. Okay, cool. Like, what's going on? Like, you know? And I don't know. I was just underwhelmed. I don't feel like we really left the season with that many answers. We do kind of understand why Nathan ghosted, which, let's get into it, actually. Nathan ghosting. So, like, do I believe what Nathan's reason for ghosting is? I believe he's telling the truth. Like, I don't have any reason to think that he's not. But regardless if he's telling the truth or not, it doesn't change the fact that you literally ghosted on somebody for a month. So, what I feel like with that, it's more so like, if Issa does decide afterwards to move forward with the relationship, you know, there has to be a deeper conversation about this and about, like, how often does this happen? Do you regularly isolate yourself? Like, what are you doing to work through that? Like, is it something deeper? And, like, to try to figure those things out, because, so, yeah, I don't know. To me, it doesn't... To me, it wasn't like a situation where I'm like, she needs to write him off and all this other stuff, like he's an F-boy. Like, I was seeing people say, like, he's an F-boy and stuff, and I'm thinking, like, is that really F-boy? Like, I don't know. Based off of what he said, he's like, hey, you know, sometimes he gets really down and he just doesn't feel like talking, doesn't feel like whatever, and, you know, he isolates himself, which is kind of crappy to the people he's doing it to, even though I can understand, but there's no communication involved with that. And it's also, are you working on yourself? Like, you know, I don't know. I just feel like it's not like he's necessarily a bad person, but it doesn't change the actions that took place. And Issa, at the end of the day, does have to protect herself and figure out what is it that she really wants out of this relationship, and does she want to pursue it further. So I felt like she did the right thing in saying she needs some time, and I hope that when they have a conversation the next time, they could get a deeper conversation where he could maybe open up a little bit more about it, and maybe, like, he can get help, whether that help be like to work out through his issues, to work out through his coping mechanisms, or whatever the case is on that. So I look forward to understanding a little bit more about what exactly is going on with Nathan. You know, is it depression? I don't know. Like, I can't diagnose him. He didn't say that. But it is something to kind of just keep an eye out for as far as next season. Maybe there's more to that story. You know, talking to my husband, it's weird because my husband, he really, like, he didn't want to be on this. He was like, you know what? He wasn't filming the season, so he didn't really care for the recap. But he was kind of like, you know, I just based it off the show, and, you know, he could be lying about all of this, and it could be just an excuse. And I'm like, I guess it could be, but, like, part of me is like, if you were, like, couldn't you just stay ghosted or whatever the case is? Like, you know what I mean? Y'all weren't even dating. Like, you didn't really owe her necessarily anything. So if you were seeing other females, like, I mean, y'all weren't exclusive. I don't know. I just feel like there would be no reason to tell that lie, but there's really never a reason for people to lie anyways. Either way, I'm giving that situation, I'm listening to what he says, take what he said as the truth, and from there, still processing that if this is true and that you literally disappeared for an entire month and came back like everything was all good, you need to realize that that's not okay. I get you have your issues that you need to work on, but hello, I can't add those issues to me. Like, you know, there has to be some type of, I don't know, resolution from that. So anyways, or some type of, we're working through this, you're working through this type of situation. That being said, we did get a couple of questions answered. I thought it was fitting that it was ghosts, because there were so many ghosts that popped up in that sense. And to see Molly and how she kind of is just finessing at work and doing all those shady stuff, and that I guess it did work because she is on her fast track to partner. But even though Tyrion's like an a-hole, even he's like, I'm not with it. So I feel like, you know, Molly, I just don't know what her end game is, and like I feel like she made this a hostile work environment, and I don't know if she's going to be able to come back from that next season. The other big elephant in the room, I guess, is Molly when Nathan showed up. So I was seeing some back and forth. Like, I tried not to see too many people's opinions so it doesn't sway my opinion, but I was seeing back and forth on, was Molly right for trying to curve Nathan, not trying, but basically deciding to curve Nathan and not let him speak to Issa because it was her birthday. You know, Nathan shows to Issa's apartment with flowers. Molly sees it. She tells him to beat it, don't ruin her day. And she never tells Issa this. To me, that's a big no-no. Like, I just am not one of those people who are into control or people making decisions for me personally. So if any of my friends had did that, I don't care what they thought they were doing. That's a no. That's an automatic no. And I would never do that for another friend. What I would do is I would be like, hold up, before you get up in there, like, let me check with her or something of that nature. Hey, Issa, you need me to stay? You want me to go? What you want me to do? Like, that would be my approach to figure out what my friend wants to do to proceed to this. I can't make that decision that she's done talking to this dude. Like, I just don't even understand how you interject yourself that deeply. Like, and where was all this boldness when you were banging Dro and letting him make a fool of you and all your other poor decisions? So I get it was out of love, but there's no way someone can tell me that was the right thing to do, because you cannot make decisions for other people. Like, that's just not how this works. You don't have a child. Anyways, also I thought it was interesting how, you know, they're showing like Lawrence is kind of like back in the picture, and the Lawrence Issa thing. I don't know where they're going with that storyline. You know, I like to see that they're at least amicable, where they kind of have like, you know, a good relationship, but there's not enough closure that I once thought there was. Like, I was okay with them both moving on, but this season finale kind of left it open in the sense of, you can tell Lawrence, even though he keeps saying that he's sure he's done with Issa, all his actions show there's still that glimmer of doubt of maybe I should almost like settle for her, is what it kind of seems like sometimes, because it might be too hard to start dating someone new, as Chad so eloquently put it. So I thought the ghost of all the boyfriends that we were seeing at the park thing was interesting. I was so glad to see Jared, because I always wondered what happened to Jared, because I really felt Molly messed that whole situation up. I did not think he was gay at all. I just didn't think, I just felt like he was being honest, and like, you know, that kind of bit him in the butt. But like, I don't think he was gay. So when she saw him and then she sees him with the brother, and you know, she had that reaction like, oh, I gotta leave. I'm like, what did he do that was gay? He was like, the dude just said sharing a blanket. Like, it wasn't that serious. Like, I think that's like homophobia on 1,000 for her. Especially because, hello, Lawrence, Chad, and whoever that other friend is that I never remember seeing before, they were all sharing a blanket. You know, I don't know. I just felt like Molly is just Molly. So I was so happy when he comes back like, that was my brother and this was my girlfriend. Now who looks stupid? So I don't know. I don't know. I also will say I called it for Lawrence and this new girl. One, I like her. I like their vibe. I even liked when they were interacting at the baby shower. When I saw, even though they only had a small conversation, something about the conversation, the need from them to show that in the show, I just knew we were going to be seeing her again. And I mean, I like that they have the aspect of that she's divorced, because, you know, I even know some people who now, even though we're 30, they had got married and they're already divorced. So I feel like that's another relevant kind of storyline to show there. And I'm excited to see where this goes for Lawrence. I feel like Lawrence and Issa should be on 2 different paths in their relationship, and hopefully at one point they could really know that the grass is greener when they're equally yoked or whatever. And yeah, and I thought it was interesting how Lawrence was second guessing, like thinking, oh, maybe this might work with Issa. It seemed like he was when he brought her the candy or whatever. But then when she was like, oh no, I'm not working on that project no more, the block party, and she goes back into her like self-doubt, not showing that initiative or that new Issa that he thought he saw, he was like, it's time for me to bounce. Like, you know, people can see that light in you, I think, and I don't know. I'm glad she got her light back at the end of this, where it inspired her to try to do the block party again. And I also am glad that she went on that interview for Beat Crew, because ultimately I thought she should have done that anyways. I mean, it's not saying if I work at Beat Crew I can't work on this block party. Like, you know, now she can do the block party justice by taking the right amount of time to really develop this partner, network with people, really put on a good event, and as well as she can have income generating from something that's relatively kind of around her passion or focus area. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, what were your thoughts on this episode or this season finale? It didn't even feel like a finale because it kind of left things so gray, where we don't really have any more answers than we did at the start of the season, is kind of how I feel. Besides, who knows, we might actually get to see Molly with a boyfriend or a love interest, which I kind of thought that was going to happen this season for her. But yeah, I'm excited about that. As far as for Nathan, I feel like Nathan will still be in the picture for next season. I'm hoping they dive into more of what exactly are his issues, and is he going to be working through those issues. I'm excited for Issa and this block party. I think next season we'll have her actually complete the block party. But I do think things will get complicated once she finds out her new source or resource or helper friend is dating Lawrence, because that's like tough. But hopefully she, you know, is able to look past that and partner with this girl and work towards that. And that's pretty much all I have. I hope next season has more developments than this season. Issa, I watched the wind down that they have after the episode, and Issa was like, this was kind of like their The Wire season 2 setup season. And I'm hoping that's the case, because honestly, besides the Molly, when they were on the Molly at Coachella, there hasn't been that much excitement this season. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But let me know what your thoughts were. Love and light, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.